There is an atavistic mist in the flesh of my curled fist, a no woman, no cry type lie. I wonder whether Cleopatra, Helen of Troy, Elizabeth I, or Emmeline Pankhurst really connected to the cryptic message of what it means to exist. Nostalgia. What venomous ambrosia, all the hurt that crumbles down the amnesiac wall. The thickness of me that you dearly took in sickness, dear. In sickness, you were unfit for me. You broke my bones and bellowed at me in tones of misogyny. So angrily, you rammed at my gate, mangled my resolve, and crammed a vial of arsenic down my throat. And the moat surrounding our castle bursted while you burst in without asking and told me you had always been king. You called yourself a feminist. Wore a denim jacket with a ticket with a ticket in your pocket from the 50s for a ride for two. You called yourself a feminist. Attended meetings, spoke over women, playing devil's advocate with their feelings. For you, feminism was telling me that other girls' breast size was better than our best time. You made me curl in on myself. Even my eyes rolled back in their sockets. And ashamed, I blame myself for the games you played. Never mind how they maimed me and shamed me. You trained me to let the grime trickle off back to the part of me that started to unravel at the centre. And then one day released me when you had spent your lusty glee and ragged and crying. And then I crumbled. You laughed at the humour in broken things. He had chosen fight. I responded in flight, and I wish I'd had the wings as geese fly south for winter. But there was only the night and the unsympathetic alleyway to keep me company. And in the north of England, I run barefoot up the immobile pavement, limbs, heavy mountains, February's icy blanket between my toes. My body dissolves into pumice footsteps, tiptoeing on the wicker basket along the edge of oblivion. I couldn't count the number of times I denied myself the task of finding out what the space between my mole and my marrow could reveal to me. And now I see how the yew tree of his coexistence with me stood aloof in its persistence like the sure resistance of the dying. The yew tree of his coexistence with me roots deep in some substance we called love, holding in the last sustenance of life and grasping at the air we breathed. And now that the hurt has curdled, I wrap myself in the folds of paper and curls of pen. And there, in the vacuum of the gap between my mole and my marrow, I write a narrative of a girl who, with the rusty messiness of hearts, starts to breathe with eyes and mouth, and thinks to build herself a space with life's inexhaustible ink between the mole and the marrow.